Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 January. So this is the last week in January. Next week we come into data week. So as usual, data week January is good, week 2 is good, so we normally get alternate, one good, one bad, one good, one bad. Week 3, if the month has been pretty good, is usually very ordinary. The algos are out to make up for all the moves and that, and basically all we do is whipsaw from side to side, and that's pretty much what happened this week. So let's come through and see whether we can still find any trades and see what happened. Okie doke. First one is the pound AUD. So we're coming down here. We're looking for long trades. Doesn't get down to our trigger level here, so we don't get a chance there. We dive up here and we get to this one here. And yes, it's right by just hits our trigger level and gets in. And of course, we do not get a close outside of the section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. That means what do? We bail out and walk away and leave it alone. And it's served us very well. So we've still got this one here in play, even though that we haven't taken it. So we're down at the bottom. So yes, we're looking at another entry there. And this time we've got to our trigger level here. Fine with that. Down underneath and there is our stop loss there. Our profit target is sitting here. So this is 6 o'clock. We get up to here. We come right through. We now get down to there. And before we get out of bed, yep, the unthinkable happens. It's gone and we've been stopped out. So that's 2 attempts at going long that's failed. We've got an attempt to go short that's failed. That tells you this market's going nowhere. So now we've got to the stage that we've basically set up a channel in here of things that are going nowhere. We've just got no movement. So we get to this one here. It's never got to our trigger level. That's fine. We've got to this one here. It's hit our trigger level and it comes in right up on the top here. And what time? 2 o'clock early in the afternoon. On IG we go through to 13:30 is our trading time. So if we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and back here, if we put a line on there, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've had 1, 2, 3 closes there and it's still back in here. It starts to come down in here. Look, that has gone on now for so long that it's just safer to close it out or move the stop up to half or something like that. I'm not going to hold that trade and hold my breath. Now, as you've seen in previous weeks, the ones that go to target, they move off. Even this one that didn't get there, it still moved off. Once you get these ones that stall and go nowhere, especially in a week where it's going nowhere, you just must get out of them. So at that point in time there, I would totally walk away from that pair for the week. I wouldn't mess with it anymore. It's had its chance. There's no life. If a trade comes down here somewhere, I don't care. I'm over it. Then we get to here, well, straight behind congestion. We don't even look at where we are down here. And the same thing, this is still up in there. We're not interested in that as well. That was the pound AUD. Pound yen, probably going to be, so the pound yen was quite good the first or the second week. So expecting it to continue the same is not going to happen. And here we go. And there, there's no trajectory coming into it. So a short trade needs to be up here where we've had that coming in. I don't even bother looking down here. I'm at the down in this area here. That there tells me leave it alone. Again, as soon as we get to this here, it's behind these single large bars. Again, I'm not interested in even looking down here. It's totally wrong. Once you get to that, walk away from it. There's just no hope. None whatsoever. Euro yen. Let's have a look at the Euro USD for last week. And that's going to be here. So let's see whether we get any joy out of this one. Flat line, flat line. So we got to move up here. That's great. Up, and we've got past our trigger line here. Our target's already projected down here. At this point in here, we've got a 50% extension, which turns into 100%. But just the way things are, we're going to be happy with our 50%. There's our 50% level. Did it get to 100%? Well, there you go. There it is, right to the exact point. So these, for you guys that are looking at this and don't have the coding I use, the single asterisk means you extend the trade by 50%. The double one means you extend it by 100%. There's the accuracy of it. Quite nice. We get past there. Up here is green. Well, we want green down here. We don't want green up the top. And of course it's out of whack, so you've got green in the pink here and so forth. And that's all there is there. Let's have a look at what can we look at that's something totally different. US dollar, Swiss franc. It's been really a waste of space for quite a while. So let's see where we're at now, whether there's any life in it. Again, we start the week as flat as a drum. No life. Then we get the tick down, right? Movement down, that's great. It triggers our level here where we can go, and there it is, up it goes. And of course it does the 50 and 100%, and as I said just in the other one, I'm looking at 50%. So what happens here is, there's the 50%. When you get to 50%, you extend your target, of course, and I'm going to move my stop to entry. We get to here, 9, 11, 12. We get up to, here's the session rollover coming in here. I look at that, and guys, I'm quite happy to just bail out of that trade. I'm not going to hang around and think, oh geez, I'm going to get those few extra points. It should have done that. That move should have continued through to that overnight. So I would rather take the money that I've got there and say thanks for coming and walk away. Now we get down to the next one here. Of course it's all wrong. Everything's back inside out and back to front. That's what happens. Quick look at one more. Oh, what haven't we had a look at? Canadian yen. The yen's sort of had their run the week before, but let's just see what this guy's doing for one more in the mix. Okay, so we're coming along here. To take a green, we need a run to have come sort of from at least one section above it. Well, we haven't got that there, and we've got the trigger level here, of course, but by the time we get to where we're taking it, it's out of our safe range to take, so we don't take it. We now get the pink, and the pink is right on, it just hits our trigger level, and boom, and we are in where that crosses the demarker above our cut-off level. So it's a trade that we take, and there we go. So that's 1300, so we're taking it going to bed. Down here. Again, look, that's at session rollover. I'm going to close that trade out and take what I've got. It's got a really, I don't know, prefer to have it closed out through the night rather than holding it through session rollover. That there, I would close it out, and now it's come back up here and never got stopped out and starting to come back down again. I possibly would have another shot at it, but I prefer to just, the way the markets have been the last 12 months, I'm going to take the money that I've got there and say thanks for coming and go through from there. This one, first thing I see is a large bar. We cut that out of the equation immediately. Don't even look down here to see what we got. Not interested where it is. Now we get a really good scenario where we're right up the top of a run. We're well and truly over our trigger level. We enter here, still in the safe zone. That's one of the easiest trades you're going to take. And in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars, there's the target taken out. As nice as you like. That's what you should have. Alright, let's come through and have a quick look at a couple on PT2. There won't be much life in them because everything has been so flat, but let's just go through the process and have a look anyway. Okay, we've opened up on the PT2 profiles at the Euro Canadian, Euro CAD. So let's come through and see what we got. So from the previous week we had a heap of targets here. So, you know, when you see that, let's just have a look here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and of course there's the resistance points. It gets to where all those targets were, but we're not holding these trades over the weekend. So let's come through. We're coming down here. We don't want to take short ones when we're coming down. We're looking for a turn to go long. We've hit our trigger safe level. We're headed in a safe level here. Here's our first, that's 1.5 sections. Move our stop to 50%. And that's right on the end of our session. So we've taken that. Again, we get to here, which is session rollover. Look at that there, and it hasn't even got to that first level. Once again, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to take the money, which is about 1 section, say thanks for coming, right, and look for the next trade. So we come through here. We've got a top, right, up here. So once we get up here, we see the mark, we're looking for probably a short setup. And of course there's the safe level and the trigger. There it is, down it goes. Right. A 50% on there. So these are 3 point, on the PT2 of course they're 3.8 section. Unless I've got very wild markets, I don't do the extension. That's just all part of the code. Now also for you guys that aren't currently clients of mine, all this is marked automatically on the chart. That triangle, the profit target is marked automatically. The stop loss level, which sits about behind there, is not very visible on this chart. If you have a look over here, you can see where the stop levels are back there. That's all done for you. So you get, and when this is marked, you get an alert goes to your mobile phone. So all of my clients, we don't sit there looking every minute at the chart. The mobile phone does the work. When there's an alert goes off, then I'll have a look at it and go through from there. So that's your 3.8 section trade. That's a good little one to have in there. We're down the bottom here. We're starting to turn. We're getting a fair way up the gravy train here. So this one here will be past the demarker, but now this is where the ADX comes in. We've come down. We've hit our trigger level. We're in our safe zone. Away we go. We take that. Our stop loss is about there. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we go again. The same thing. 8 or 9. It can't get anywhere. Close it out. What did this one do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What was it doing? It was down to its target at 9. If it hasn't done this, wait for a better trade. So this run up is actually the fake move. This here is the real move. And then of course we get to over here. We're not looking at any more of these going up here. They're way out of whack by everything. That there comes in above our centre line there, which on the PT2 is the cutoff of the safe zone. We now get this great big monstrous thing here, but it's out of our safe zone here. It's in that zone here with the ADX, just sort of does it. So if you're in that trade, again, this is Friday night, and I've got the codes on here for Friday night, but I don't touch Friday nights. If you're in that Friday night, you've closed it out here Saturday morning. Don't hold it over the weekend. Simple as that. All right. US Canadian. Let's have a look at that. Righto. Last week, and we haven't got too much excitement going on in here by the looks coming down, so we'd be looking for long ones from the bottom here. We didn't get any setups. Not interested in anything there. Then we get this here, and by the time it rolls around, it's below our safe level. By the time that rolls around there, we are right there to take that trade. But when we look at that here, there is just, it's a trade that's in no man's land because we want a green trade that's at the bottom of a run. Is that the bottom of a run? Not a hope in hell. That's in no man's land is what I'm there. So where that position is important. So, as I said, we want to be down here somewhere. Somewhere down the bottom. Down the bottom taking trades in here. Right? They're the best trades. The ones that are down the bottom of a run. So filter those ones out. If you've decided to enter it, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you just get the hell out of it. I don't mind playing the game and then walking away from a trade. That's what you've got to do. We don't know what that's going to do there when we take that trade. I mean, I've got a fair idea because there's no life here. All you're doing is going into this congestion. But sometimes a trade like that will fire. So it's really, before we've taken that trade, in my book, I'm looking at that as a 50-50 win rate. I don't like 50-50 win rates. I can assure you of that. So from there, we come along here. So we've got another long one here, and it's right on the extent of our safe zone here. This one couldn't go long. This one couldn't go short. This one couldn't go short. Where are we? We are in the middle of a sideways range. There's no future in that, right? There is no future. We've either got to wait till we get one side of it or the other and then look for taking trades. You can't just keep following along in a range. You will get smashed. That's what they want you to do. That's why they keep giving false breakouts, to suck everyone in, to suck up everything that they give you the week before. We get past there and we get up to here, and by the time we get to there, we're past all the turns and we're past our safe zone well and truly, and there's nothing exciting going to happen there. Let's have a look at the US dollar yen and see how it's shaped up on PTT for the week. Again, very quiet and lethargic coming in. Once you get this sideways, you've got this in behind here, that there. Again, first thing I'll do, as soon as I see sideways, there it is. I want to be above that, below it. We get nothing in there. And even once we get to here, we're outside of our safe zone well and truly, and it doesn't throw up anything. We just can't touch it and then go through from there. All right, guys, that's about how it was. Again, it's following the rules, taking what you get, and don't be frightened to get out of a trade if it's going nowhere. A lot of times you'll hang in trade, oh, geez, we finally got a trade, we're going to do it, but hanging in trades sometimes can be a very big detriment to your overall account. Okay. All right, guys, well, take care. Have a good week next week. Don't forget, if you're watching this, please subscribe and like so we can build this up and help more people get on the road with some trading. And not only that, when you subscribe, you'll know when I put these out, and then we can go from there. All right, guys, take care. Catch you in a week's time.